Hi everyone, I think I'm a bit low for this. I'm going to try perching up on this pedestal here. Okay, if I can master the technology, there we go. I thought that seeing I was speaking just before lunch, in case I lost your concentration, I'd start my first slide with my main point, and then we can move on from there. The main things I wanted you to go away with from this talk are that climate change is really important. I'm coming from a company of engineers, so I'm not a conference organizer. I'm in fact a vet by training. So I'm a complete imposter here. I don't know your industry very well. I've only been involved with conferencing in the last year. But I know a little bit, I hope, about renewable energy. And what I wanted to talk to you about was the impact of emissions on climate change internationally. We know that most of it is coming from the Northern Hemisphere, but we also know that most of the climate change impacts are going to be felt harder in the Southern Hemisphere in the warmer climates, and that's just Murphy's Law, that the Northern Hemisphere that are the emitters are not going to suffer as soon or as thoroughly as the Southern Hemisphere will. Then that you can take away from this that there's something that you, in your personal capacity and in your work capacity as a conference organizer and with your clients, you can do about reducing our emissions in South Africa. You can do it now and you can do it easily. And then thirdly, because I come constantly across South Africans who feel that in some way, if something is South African, it must by definition be inferior. So let me tell you that the system we're employing to bring green power to the corporates comes from Europe, if you feel that that makes it more valid. It's being used in the US, also in a voluntary capacity, and in Australia, partly voluntarily and partly mandated by the government. The company that I work for is called GreenX Energy. Our parent company is Agama Energy. I'll talk a bit about them. Then go on to green power and certificated green power and what it is, how it works, the international experience that keeps South Africans happy. There's the screen I'm looking for. And then climate change and energy and the South African energy sector, which is quite pertinent perhaps for those of you that have been affected by the blackouts. And then just a brief summary. Agama Energy, our parent company, is actually a company of engineers who are involved in renewable energy consulting. We do green building consulting, we do policy consulting to the government and to the governments of neighboring countries. We're involved in thermal energy modeling and energy audits and just about anything that has to do with sort of non-biased advice to people who are wanting to tap into renewable energy and energy efficiency. On the right is our other subsidiary company, Agama Biogas, which takes up 50% of my time. We've been involved in building biogas, purpose-built biogas digesters all around South Africa for some years now. And this year we're launching a prefab biogas digester, a small one for people to use in their homes, if the municipality will allow you, and on farms and in rural areas and mining hostels. Then the company that is relevant to this talk is GreenX Energy. We started actually trading in renewable energy certificates in 2002 when the World Sustainability Summit happened here in Johannesburg. And Agama Energy supplied renewable energy certificates from a generator to that event, 854 to be exact. Greg, I was interested, I don't know if he's still here, to see the low electricity consumption that you showed in your figures of the two examples that you used. Both of them would have only been eligible for one renewable energy certificate, so I can't quite understand that. But that particular event, which I believe was 4 or 5 days, needed 854, which is 854 megawatt hours of electricity. And the engineers decided that since they're involved in the renewable energy industry, which in South Africa is minuscule, that to be involved in something that was involved in growing the industry was a good thing to do. So GreenX was founded. First transaction in 2004. We were very grateful to be supported by BP. The South African TREC issuing body was formed in 2005. We had to obviously have a separate issuing body. We couldn't issue our own certificates and then trade them. And then the Department of Minerals and Energy, now the Department of Energy, and NERSA, the National